We're about to dive into a story that honestly feels like it's been ripped from a sci-fi script, but it's happening right now. We're going to look at this from the perspective of an AI developer who literally watched the technology he helped create, a tool that was supposed to lift humanity up, get turned into its deadliest weapon. Let's unpack how that hopeful dream became the blueprint for the war of the future. And wow, that right there, that sentence from AI developer Rajarshi Sinha just nails the terrifying heart of what we're talking about. It's a story that starts with this incredible promise to save lives. And, well, it ends with the cold, hard reality of automated war. So, what does that even mean, a new kind of conflict? Well, according to military historians and tech analysts, the current fighting between Iran and Israel, it's crossed a line, a really critical threshold. It's not just a conventional war anymore. They're now calling it the world's first full-scale AI war. And just so we're all on the same page, this isn't some prediction about a far-off future. No. Right now, as we speak, an active battlefield has become a live-fire laboratory for AI-driven weapons. It is fundamentally changing the rules of war right before our eyes. But to really get how startling this is, we've got to rewind. Let's go back to the original dream, the vision that AI developers were actually pouring their hearts into. I mean, the whole point, the entire goal, was human development. The source for this explainer, Rajarshi Sinha, he even built his own project called Tutor AI to train democratized education for everyone. The promise was about saving lives, solving humanity's biggest headaches, not inventing new ways to end them. And then, this is where everything changed. That same core AI capability, the ability to sift through mountains of data and find hidden patterns, well, military and defense planners saw that, and they started asking a radically different kind of question. And this just lays it out so starkly, right? The very same pattern recognition tech that was designed to find a tiny, life-threatening tumor in a medical scan was repurposed to find a person in a city. The entire purpose was flipped on its head, from a tool for saving life to one for taking it. So here's the crucial shit. AI isn't just a helpful advisor anymore. Because it operates at, well, the speed of thought, there's really no way for a human to properly supervise it. It's become an active part of the kill chain. That's the military process of finding and then attacking a target. And in doing so, it effectively bypasses human empathy and oversight along the way. Okay, so let's get out of the theory and look at the actual specific AI systems being used on the ground right now. The ones turning this conflict into what the source calls an automated tragedy. All right, first up is a system reportedly used by the IDF called the Gospel. Think of it like this. It just vacuums up drone footage, satellite pictures, communications, everything. And then it spits out recommendations for targets. It's basically turned military intelligence into a mass production factory for targets. And just look at this comparison. The scale is, honestly, it's hard to wrap your head around. Where human analysts might carefully identify, say, 50 high-value targets in a whole year, a system like the Gospel can churn out hundreds every single day. The focus completely shifts from the quality of a target to the sheer quantity of strikes. So, if the Gospel targets places, a sister system called Lavender reportedly targets people. It creates a massive database and gives every person a suspicion score from 1 to 100. It flags them based on stuff like who they talk to or what groups they're in. At one point, it had flagged tens of thousands of people. And here's where it gets really dangerous. As any coder will tell you, AI models mess up. They have what we call hallucinations. They get things wrong. Now, in a normal app, a false positive might make it crash. In this kind of war, if Lavender gets it wrong, say because you were in the wrong WhatsApp group, it can lead to your entire family being wiped out in an airstrike. And then there's maybe the most dystopian tool of them all, an algorithm reportedly named Where's Daddy? Its only job is to track a person flagged by Lavender and then send an alert the exact moment they walk into their family's home. Airstrikes are then timed to hit right then when they are surrounded by their loved ones, which, as you can imagine, is directly linked to the very high civilian death toll. Now, on the other side of this, Iran has reportedly been using something called asymmetric AI. The idea is simple. Use cheaper, more accessible tech to fight a more powerful enemy. In this case, we're talking about swarms of autonomous kamikaze drones. Once they're in the air, the AI itself picks the targets and figures out the best way to attack. No human needed. But the fatal flaw is still there. The machine's algorithm cannot tell the difference between a military base and a civilian hospital. All of this technology, It forces us to look in the mirror and ask a really tough question about our own humanity when we start outsourcing life and death decisions to a machine. 20 seconds. According to investigations coming out of the conflict, that's it. That's the average amount of time a human soldier spends reviewing a target that one of these AI systems spits out before authorizing a strike that could kill dozens. Just 20 seconds to sign off on a life or death decision made by an algorithm. And this creates a really dangerous psychological trap called automation bias. It's pretty simple, actually. When a super sophisticated multi-million-dollar AI tells you this is a target, how likely are you, a single operator, to disagree? You basically become a rubber stamp for the machine's lethal math, and that crucial layer of human moral responsibility just starts to fade away. You see, this creates what you could call an accountability vacuum. If an AI makes a mistake and a refugee camp gets hit, who's to blame? The commander who approved it, the coder who wrote the algorithm, the company that hosted the data. The source makes the point that when the machine can take the blame, our own sense of responsibility just seems to vanish into thin air. But look, this isn't just about one conflict in one part of the world. What's being battle-tested today is creating a blueprint for the future of all wars. And that puts all of us, everyone, at a global crossroads. These algorithms and weapons, they aren't going to stay in the Middle East. They are already being packaged up, refined, and prepared for sale on the global market. And if we don't regulate this conflict becomes the terrifying, horrifying blueprint for every war to come. So what do? The source lays out a really clear call to action. First, the international community has to step in. Second, we need to create and enforce real rules for these so-called lethal autonomous weapon systems. And third, and this is probably the most important, we have to mandate strict, meaningful human oversight. It's a call to draw a hard red line, right now. And that leaves us with this one final massive question. AI has this incredible power to solve our biggest problems. Everything from climate change to disease. The choice we are facing right now, as a species, is whether that will be its legacy, or if we're going to let AI's story be defined by its terrifying new power to orchestrate destruction on a scale we've never seen before.